All right. Hey guys, what's going on? I always do that shoulder tuck. I had to take today off. I decided I was going to take today off and not work out. These old bones, my knees were kind of bothering me. I'm working through it. I have some tension in my back along my rib cage, and it's partly from doing things wrong out there. I mentioned that I was out there doing the karate thing, and I'm out there grinding it out and spinning, and my body's not quite ready for that. It wasn't quite there when I started, and of course I'm just getting old too. So, but I'm out there and I got this pain going, and so I've been kind of nursing it back to health, feeling better. But that kind of sucks. I've got this self-image that requires me to work out every day. Partly because I want to live a long time. Partly because, well, there's a lot of shit I want to do, right? So, but here's a little something for you. So Sandy and I don't know if you picked it up in the podcast. I wasn't quite as lighthearted as I usually am, and maybe I'm not that lighthearted anyway. I don't know. I think I'm a pretty fun guy, but this last week or so, we've kind of gotten a couple burdens lifted off of us. First is Sandy was going through some stuff, and she had some tests done, and everything is A-OK. I was kind of squashing my juju. I was really trying. I was struggling not to fall off the cliff. I eventually did. I don't know if you picked it up. Go take a look at the last podcast. I wasn't quite my upbeat self, right? But the other thing that happened that actually lightened my load is, for the longest time, for 327 podcasts, I've been looking at this and going, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Guess what? I am. I just realized I can do this however I want because I created it. It would have never existed had I not created it. So I need to be okay with that. So here's the deal. This is the new rule. There are going to be times when I come at you hard because you need it. There are going to be times when I say things and you're like, yeah, I don't think so. That's fine. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear you disagree with me. I'd love to hear from you for you to challenge me. I think maybe that's the ticket right there. Now, why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because you're not alone when you face struggle. I talk about my amazing life, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool. I spend like 6 hours a month doing stuff I have to do, maybe 10 hours a month. And the rest of the time is things that are scheduled around my life, right? We don't eat out a lot, so I do cook and we clean, but man, if I wanted to, I could spend the entire day playing. And I try to. I look at this conversation here as playing. You wake up and you looking at your life and you're going, why? Because I know you have. You have there. You get up in the morning, you're sitting across the table. It's Saturday. You finally got to sleep in, and you're looking across the table at each other, and then you look over at that stack of bills that's been piling, and you keep thinking and telling each other, well, we got to pay the bills. Yeah, I know. Ugh, hate it. Or I mean, it's the 21st century, right? So I guess you'd be checking your email, late notices on your phone. That's kind of covert. That's kind of cool. Jumping in your car, waking up at 5:30 in the morning and jumping in your car with that sack of food to go sit in traffic or to grind into that thing you do every day, right? Take a look around. You're not alone. I know. Social media says, ooh, look at me. Ooh, look at me. I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to show you pictures of what it looks like. The reason I'm not showing you pictures of what it looks like is because the only thing I'm doing right now is working out. I'm doing podcasts. I've lived this, okay? So sometimes you just don't feel energized. But the cool part is you're not alone. You're not the only one. Now, the ticket here is to accept that and say, okay, my life sucks, so does everyone else's. Get over it, and then make a plan where you actually say, now it's time to do something about it. All right, you're already in it, right? You're already in the muck of life, right? You're going to work 8-10 hours a day. You can change it. It doesn't have to be that. You don't have to buy that with all that labor, all that time you're going to put in. This isn't a story about how you're going to quit your job and live in the Caribbean, although that's possible. I mean, it really is. How much do you need to live in the Caribbean? Well, the way I see it, you'd need a boat, and depending on how much you need to put on that boat, you may need $150,000, maybe less. I don't know. You'd need to know what to do with that boat, right? That's the funny part about it. You chose the same thing as your neighbor chose. And they chose the same thing as the neighbor next to them. So here we are in these lives, these boxes of events, these boxes of obligations, and we wake up every day and we walk out the door and we go through the tasks. And we tell ourselves, whoa, this is friggin' amazing. And we make excuses. Yeah, but. I see that a lot. So I don't know if you're getting this from me, but I'm a helper. I show up and I'll see some people. I say, hey, have you thought about this? And you know how I can tell when it's time to stop talking and continue walking? When I broach a subject about something that will make their life better, or something they haven't thought about, and they go, yeah, but is the ejector seat for my conversation. Yeah, but that's telling me that you're not in a place in your life where you've actually sat down long enough to say, is this really what I want to spend the rest of my life doing? And if it is, let's say, like for me, I had that amazing job that paid a bunch of money. It sucked. My only regret isn't that I had to work so hard and do what I did. It's that I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know that it was a way better plan to simply take all those resources and point them in an amazing direction, a life that fits who I am. Can you imagine how much traveling and how much more adventure my wife and my family would have been able to enjoy had I said, let's make this part of our life fit? And it comes down to that question. What do we need, right? What do we need to be the people we want to be, to experience and live the life we want to live? I wasn't into housework. My wife, she did it, and she did an amazing job, and she had a lot of it to do. We all did, right? But she wasn't into it. I did a really good job on the yard and taking care of all that land and feeding the cows and having the garden and fixing and landscaping. And I guess I wasn't running around crying every day about why I was doing what I was doing. But just imagine, had I trimmed that down to where it fit as tightly as it could, to the point that I didn't spend any more time than I absolutely have to doing shit that sucks. It doesn't matter to me if owning a house is a great investment or not, unless if you're an investor, if that's the reason you buy, then that wouldn't make any sense for you to live in the house for 30 years. Oh, well, I'll get my equity out of it. Really? There are a ton of things you can do in life that will generate more revenue in a shorter amount of time than the investment you're going to gain or the benefit you're going to gain from that house. Now, I realize right now, amid this boom, this market of scarcity, I would imagine there are some people who are going to say, yeah, I don't think so, Chris. I made a ton of money. Oh, yeah, you will. But is that in itself the reason for you to stop heading in any other direction? And truly it is for most of us. You own a house. If you don't want to sell the house, you're stuck with the house. Well, we don't want to rent the house because we don't want to move. And there you are. End of the line, right? I'm not against that. But imagine what would happen. Let's say that you spend $400,000 on a house, and you have $400,000 worth of your sweat, your time, the next 30 years tied up in that house. It's fine if you're like totally into it. It's fine if you wake up every day and like, oh, honey, today I get to clean the bathrooms. Ooh, yeah. And you're like Saturday morning, you're like out early. You get up before the alarm so you can get your lawnmower, which is in pristine condition. You sharpen the blade 3 times a season, right? Just like the neighbor. No, you don't. Like, I got to mow the lawn first. Why? I don't know anybody who eats lawn. I mean, I've said this before. It's no secret. If you're going to grow something, why don't you grow something you can eat? Grow tomatoes. Not the same amount of work, I'd imagine. About the same amount of water, too. At least you're getting something for it. There's a trick right there. What's funny is you're not alone. What's funny is you're not the only one who wakes up every day going, why in the hell are we doing this again? This is a lot of work for a long time. It's because you've been taught that. This is the plan, right? The American dream. And it starts at an early age. Hey, what you going to get? Hey, don't worry. Don't worry. Everything will be okay if you're exactly like everybody else. If you stay afraid, if you're too afraid to step beyond your box, right? Step beyond this here thing that you have. And of course, it has to look like this. I don't know. I guess in a way I'm proving it's wrong, right? How much time do you spend every day doing whatever the hell you want to? That's a question. How much time do you spend every day just thinking, oh man, what do you want to do now, right? Because I'm saying that because that is what Sandy and I do a lot of. We schedule events. We schedule outings. We schedule going to museums or going and doing this or going and doing that, right? The whole world is full of people exactly like you. Let me see if I can get this right. You have more debt than you wish you had. You're working to get out of it, but you really can't get there. There's always another bill to pay. There's never enough time, and there's never enough money. You don't play enough. You don't laugh enough. You probably drink too much. And you have a long list of things you wish you could do. There's a long list of things you're going to do. And the sad part is if you wait, you might not get to do them. You might not get to go to the Caribbean. You might not get to write that book. You're not alone. Everyone you know is waiting to the day they can stop and start playing. And if you want to live your best life, you have to insert that play among that grind, amid that struggle you face every day. Because if you don't, you may not get a chance. I don't know. This could be my last podcast. I mean, I think people go, "Whoa, man, that's weird. That's gruesome. Don't say that." Well, it's the truth. It is the absolute truth. Today, right now, this moment right here could be my last podcast. And all I can say is there's a damn great record. There's a whole lot of information, a whole lot of stories my granddaughters, my grandsons, their children are going to be able to see, to know about me, right? And there'll be some kid surfing the internet, struggling 20 years from now, and he'd be like, oh, what's this? Oh, my God. But then he'll sit down, he'll start listening, and he'll realize, wait a minute. He's right. I can be different. I can be better. I can be amazing, right? I don't know. Like most people, you probably have some dreams. You have some stuff in the back of your head, and you're saying to yourself, God, if only I could, if only I could. I'm giving you permission. Not that that's my job, but if that's what it takes for you to say, oh, no, Chris, you're right. It's time for us to get off our ass and start driving for it, start being uncomfortable so we can get our lives in order and start charging towards that amazing thing we get to do, right? I don't know. I'm just one guy who shows up every day. I do it for you. I do it for me. This helps me maintain, to keep my train on the tracks. Because I'll tell you what, if there's anyone who can get distracted, it's me. And I'm sure there are people out there right now who know me who are like, damn, he's still doing it. He's still showing up. Yeah, at this point, I got too much skin in the game. I got too much time invested. There are too many people who show up every day along with me to listen to what I have to say, to try and find that thing that's going to flip that switch, that's going to take them to their success. I hope that's you. In fact, I'm pretty sure it will be. You showed up today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everything you guys do. Just so you know, the activity that goes on and the fact that the downloads are increasing and people are starting to listen is giving me hope and it's giving me energy. But guess what? This is mine. I'm going to continue to show up because I've created it. I can take the criticism. I can take the challenges. You got something you want to know about? Scott, something you want me to talk about? Throw it out there. I dare you. Let's not forget the kindness. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.